Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are, welcome. I am so glad you're here. Today I'm going to share 3 steps for learning or implementing new technology in fundraising organizations. And for lots of us, when we hear that the solution coming down the pike is technology, it inspires so much denial and resistance. We're not ready to learn new things, especially for us Gen Xers and above, not digital natives. So the sound of a technology solution just makes us want to cover our ears and dig in our heels. But there are a few reasons why we really do need, as an institution, as an industry, to look at new technology as one of our biggest opportunities for improvement. Old ways of doing business aren't working anymore for us, whether it's for us as development officers, for our donors, or for our organizations. Certainly our donors have come to expect a certain level of experience when they're interfacing with us, whether it's individually or as an organization, and some of our legacy systems just cannot deliver on that experience. And certainly for those of us who are trying to do our jobs with legacy technology, we're starting to see the point of diminishing returns if we hadn't already several years ago. So old ways are not working. In addition to that, as now we are much more aware of an inclusive environment and what goes into that, the technology that we're using has some very serious baked in unconscious bias. That needs to be addressed oftentimes by just throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So who was this technology invented by? Who was it optimized for? And who does it inadvertently leave behind? Those are the reasons for considering new technology. Now, step 1 is to get enthusiastic buy-in, whether it's getting yourself mentally prepared to learn a new technology, or if you're on the team that's implementing the new technology, it's getting, your end users and your leaders and whoever's paying for the technology. You've got lots of different stakeholders to get on board when it's a major technology transformation. Change management is hard, and if you don't have the buy-in in the beginning, it's even more difficult, and I could tell stories for days on that. So enthusiastic buy-in, step number 1. Of course, many times, for many people, that's really just going to be a sense of being resigned to doing it, right? Okay, fine, I'll do it. But then we get to the learning curve, right? Step 1 is to get onto that learning curve. Step 2 is to overcome frustration. So that purple line is the frustration barrier. And this is where new users are going to hit a wall pretty darn quick. They have certain intuition coming into the platform. And after a little while, the limits of that have been met, right? They don't have any general idea of what they should do. And they're most likely, they just don't know where to click. So how can we support them in getting over that frustration barrier? Very important section of implementing new technology. Paying attention to that, because when we get over that barrier, past that phase where people kind of hit a wall and want to quit, now they're doing hard things. They're doing new things. They're doing stuff that they could never do before, and it's empowering, right? And they're going to be your champion. So they're out there talking to the other end users, telling them what's working for them. So getting some quick wins early that'll kind of embolden them and allow them to be spokespeople for the new technology is really awesome. And as a person learning the new technology, it's like this really good feeling. I've gotten over that really crappy part where I was learning all the things and it was hurting my brain. And now you can kind of build incrementally. The goal next is to get to the good enough zone. We do not need to be experts. Absolutely not. We do not need to know every nook and cranny of every platform. No, we just need to know the things we need to know. And it is so fine to leave it at that. Of course, you're going to hear people saying, oh, the new thing does this and it does that and it does that. And that is so awesome for them. That is so great. But if it's more than you want to take on and more than you need to know, I think just, let that go. Live in the good enough zone where you're able to do what you need to do. And organizationally, if you can get as many people as possible into that good enough zone, you have a successful rollout. So I hope this was helpful as you think about how can we do things better in our industry, and when you have the opportunity to use technology solutions to make things better.